Hello. Ako po si Rommel Sergio from the Canadian University, Dubai. I'm the Associate Professor and Chair of the Human Resource Management Program. I'm back, mga kabalitaktakan, dahil ito sa request ni ating Idol Rico to run the second trail of his educational series. The first one that I've shared with you before happened to be more on the topic of time management for overseas Filipino workers. Ngayon, mas maganda ang ating topic dahil it has something to do with your personal and professional development. So, the topic given to me by Idol Rico happened to be more on goal setting for OFW'S. Okay? So, I may say at the beginning that the victory of success is closer when we master the art of setting and achieving our goals. So, maaring sa ngayon, marami sa inyo nakakaalam about the acronym SMART. Okay? SMART goals, right? In so many settings, we have a lot of acronyms. The mnemonic acronym of that will pertain differently from project management to strategic management. And so with our personal endeavors, when we come to see those SMART mnemonic acronym across disciplines. But let's just be more specific. That probably, since the S is more on the specific, that most of us would be wanting to develop our own personal goals and at the same time our own professional goals. So I've already mentioned one acronym, part of the acronym, which is the S, specific. And of course the M pertains to measurable, A for action, R for realistic, T for time-bound, sometimes we call it timeline, all right? And these acronyms would compose the main concepts and ideas for today's discussion, okay? So first, specific. Personally, you may say, I want to become the best that I can be. Medyo vague yan, di ba mga kapatid? Medyo malawak. Kinakailangan maging specific. But in what terms do you want to become the best that you can be? Is this related to work? So if that is the case, probably you want to become a department manager. That's more specific, right? Let's use human resource management as perspective. So in this case, we're talking about you eyeing for a promotion for a specific period of time. So it's specific. You want to gain higher level position na kung saan makikita natin kung ikaw supervisor sa ngayon, you want to become the next manager of your department. Very specific, right? Rather than you say, I want to become the best that I can be. That's quite philosophical, but what's the impact of that when it comes to our own professional development, di ba? So ayan po ang isa. So parte ng ating balitaktakan ay ang specific, which is more leaning towards data of information you would want to consider when you start to hone for that particular dream of yours. Okay, so next is measurable. Okay, we want to determine some set of criteria, or you may say specific criterion, that would capture a specific glimpse of achieving a specific goal. So I want to become the next manager of my department. So how do we apply the measurable indicator there? Do I come to work on time? Do I exhibit the right behavior? Ako ba ay nagiging magandang halimbawa para sa iba? Can I be considered as a manager because of my skills? These are some of the questions that would pop into your head as you consider your applicability for that particular mission of yours, right? For a specific period of time. For that specific goal that you have set, okay? So next is action. So we're done with S, we're done with M. Next is A, the action, right? So just like in any managerial principles or managerial set of ideals, we have to look into the action part. Ang ganda minsan ng plano, magaganda yung mga, we know our metrics, but how do we strike a pose when we need it the most? Okay, this is one relevant question. Right? So, maring iniisip natin, paano ba ako mas magiging kapani-paniwala para doon sa binibithi kong mas mataas na posisyon. Right? So, you have already determined your goal by being more specific. You have known about the indicators of excellence that you need to look into. And then eventually look also into how you will be able to demonstrate, transmute those specific information that you have come to know about the indicators, exhibit them, and model the way, right? So that's one. And then realistic, letter R, right? Realistic calls for dimension of what is really available for you as a resource and how well you will be able to look into those aspects of goals that you would want to accomplish in the process, right? So realistic. I want to become the next manager of my department by tomorrow. Is that realistic? You earn trust over a period of time. You earn respect over a period of time. You exhibit the skills over a certain period of time. And at work, definitely you will agree with me when I say that there is such thing as 1 year grace period, us being evaluated, right? And be careful with the technical side and with the administrative side of promotion, because you may not know kapag ikaw ay nagkaroon ng violation, kahit warning lang yan, in a specific period of time, it has an impact on your integrity. So for that particular year, kahit gaano ka kagaling, tanggal ka na kaagad dun sa promotion consideration. Okay? So that's the realistic part. And time bound is basically connected to the rest, if you would see. So being specific it's basically connected to time. So lahat yan konektado sa time. So when we talk about being specific, measurable, is it measurable, action-based, or realistic? We're talking about the dimensions of time there. Just like what I've shown you before in terms of the relevance of managing your time, right? So that's, my example was leaning more towards on the professional dimension of growth and development. How about your personal goals, right? So let's just say gusto mong makakuha ng magandang trabaho, right? So unang-unang nasa isip natin, are we really qualified, right? So meron ba akong skills? Have I graduated, right? At least in college? Well, it depends on what job we're trying to get, right? And then do we have the competencies needed for the job? Okay, so unang-unang naisip natin kung being specific, gusto kong magkaroon ng trabaho. So ang measurable, what are the indicators that we're looking for you to be able to land the job? So here comes, as I've said earlier, are you having this qualification, like educational qualification? Do you have the skills, to reiterate? And then, do you have the right competencies, right? Experience, invariably, of course, along the way, once you were hired, it's another dimension of the job that you would want to get in the process or get into in the process. But ang una-una tanong muna natin ay the basic, okay? Am I equipped with the right impression once the employers would want to hire me? Okay, so andyan na. So iniisip na agad natin personally, kinakailangan makapag-aral ako, right? This is part of your personal goal. Now, your mission is to go to the university or to school, basically to educate yourself. And that's the indicator of measurable, right? So remember, measurable are the is it measurable pertains to the indicator of the goal that you would want to obtain in the future, right? So eto na. Were you able to source for scholarship if in case you don't really have the money, right? Because you go to the next dimension of letter R, being realistic. Realistically, wala akong pera. So makakapunta ba ako sa university? Will it stop me to dream about landing a job? It's a big no, right? For one, I have been a product of scholarship all along. When it was a bleak reality at that moment, I can't go to the university. I had to source for my scholarship, and that transpired. So it didn't stop me from achieving my goal. Realistically, can I go to the university on my own? Do I have the finance, right? I don't have, right? But the challenge there is to keep up with the demands of time. Okay, so that's one example of somehow partially achieving your goal. Once you have a scholarship, for example, by any means, you can also work at a specific period of time, and then that will sustain your needs. That will augment your needs for for your education, right? Now, time bound, you have 4 years essentially. Depends on which course you have to take. So if it's engineering, of course, that's solid. We're talking about 5 years. You being in the university. For some courses that are usually in the 4-year level baccalaureate course, so to speak, we're talking about the time bound from there. And after graduating, you need to basically strategize. Even before graduating, you need to find ways on how to source information about employers. We have a lot of social media right now. Different platforms like LinkedIn can help you land a job. That's right after graduation. So, or even before graduation, make sure that your name would be in the database for active submission. Okay, so this is what the SMART goals happen to be all about. It's about determining, again, letter S, specific, letter M, measurable, A for action, R for realistic, and number 5, T for time-bound. These are 5 items that you need to consider, 5-point agenda when you look into acronym as it is. As I've said in my prelude, at the beginning, iba-iba ang mnemonics na ginagamit. Depende kung ikaw ay nasa project management. It depends if you will be in strategic management. It depends on which perspective you're trying to look into. But the bottom line is that we want to have a step-by-step shot, a look into how we will be able to set our goals, achieve them, and basically have this insight to also evaluate how the outcome has been. Okay, and that will be indicated by time, of course. So again, this is Rommel Sergio saying the victory of success is closer when we master the art of setting and achieving our goals in life. Okay? Muli po ako nagpapasalamat din kay Sir Rico for this opportunity to extend my time to my fellow OFWs with his very distinct and unique way of reaching out to a lot of OFWs, not just here in the UAE, but also across the globe. He has established this segment, him being the facilitator of what he calls Tatak Pinoy. Proud ako. Indeed, it's a very meaningful encounter to each one of you. Send your comments, your messages, and some topics we may be able to deal with in the future. Okay? Magandang araw po. Mabuhay kayong lahat.